These fish have passed the mirror test. If you've never heard of it before, the mirror test means showing an animal its own reflection and seeing if they can tell that they're looking at themselves and not some other animal. It is a test of self-awareness. And one way this can be determined is by letting an animal learn its reflection first and then adding a mark to its body that's only visible in the mirror and seeing if the animal notices the mark and then inspects or touches the corresponding place on its own body. This is our fish. It is a blue streak cleaner wrasse. You've probably seen them on a reef cleaning much larger fish like groupers and moray eels and nurse sharks, things like that. A 2019 study and a follow-up in 2022 showed that these tiny little fish were able to recognize their reflections. And when they saw their reflections in a mirror, they started doing things that nobody had ever documented this species doing before in any other context. Things like swimming upside down, which could have been because they were curious about what they looked like and they wanted to see themselves from a bunch of new, interesting angles. So then, when the researchers gave the fish a mark on their throats that looked like a parasite was stuck to them, the fish would go up to the mirror, look at their throat, then go scrape their own throat on the bottom of the tank, and then come right back to the mirror and check again, like to see if they got it. Anyone who has ever tried to get a piece of food unstuck from between their teeth knows exactly what this feels like. The only other fish known to have passed this test is the manta ray, which might make you wonder why these fish, what makes them so special? As with most things in nature, there's probably not one straightforward answer, but I think it probably has a lot to do with the fact that these fish's lifestyle relies really heavily on trust and positive image with other fish. As cleaners, they have to maintain relationships and reputations with hundreds of client fish in their reef ecosystem. So it would make a lot of sense that they would have the skills necessary for passing the mirror test, like facial recognition and social memory. We talked a lot more about these fish and the mirror test and other, frankly, mind-blowing concepts like how they cheat and deceive each other and how they can be studied as a real-life model of the prisoner's dilemma. This was all in this week's episode of my podcast that just went up today, so go check this out and follow me if you'd like to learn more about animals.